One of my submissions is to expose these heathens, these miscreants, these motley fucking crew, motley fools, these motherfuckers who pretend to be fair and altruistic with their utopian dreams, ideals, their whole collective mindset of socialism, democracy, and this and that. Yeah, you notice how I'm a handsome dude from an athletic background, a background of athletics, and that I was someone who was a track star where I come from, my little small town, down by the river, and that I grew up in a predominantly white community neighborhood. I had the equivalent of an Uncle Phil, a wealthy uncle who took me in, and I had all the different privileges that sadly, unfortunately, some kids don't have. But I'm also from the projects like Will Smith, and despite such, I don't go along with the socialist doctrine. Have you noticed that shit, man? Have you noticed how I'm split right down the middle? I have an afro with an afro pick, and I studied black studies. I took black studies, and I was immersed in a world and have been in gangs, urban culture, and whatnot. And have you noticed, man, how I don't subscribe to the Jim Crow laws and the modern day slave plantation fucking brainwash of pieces of fucking shit, trash scumbags, dirtbags like Hillary Clinton and Barack Hussein? Have you noticed that shit? How I don't give a fuck about Maxine Waters, Dirty Waters, Dianne Feinstein, fucking Lois Farrakhan and his triple fucking dick suck stories of whatever fake quantum reality that he's like, broadcasting, and all of fucking Al Pumpkin's fucking bullhorn, megahorn, like shit that he talks in the news media, trying to drum up some type of like little drummer boy type, like, yeah, this happened and it's a tragedy and everyone gather around and let's cause it a disturbance in society and let's block traffic with the NAACP so people can't get to where they need to go in America so that they can feed their families. And then the world finds out that the shit that they were protesting, it was based on something that never happened in the fucking first place. Have you ever noticed that shit? Have you ever noticed how I'm not a fan of Robert Mueller or James Comey or Andrew McCabe or the whole list of fucking deep state actors that Mark Levin has so expertly pointed out, and the list goes on. I just talk about, it's all topical with me, man. I talk about, at least in the context of these jakes, these chumps. Have you ever noticed how I just talk about those who you hear about in the media? There are hundreds of these motherfuckers, thousands of these motherfuckers. The list go on. Have you noticed how I don't subscribe, man? Have you noticed how I'm not a fucking fan? Have you ever noticed how I don't root for these people? Have you ever noticed how I don't shuck and jive? Have you ever noticed, man, how I'm not a shucking and jiving minstrel? Have you ever noticed, man, how I embrace both sides of my ethnicity, my ethnic background, and my heritage? Have you ever noticed how I give equal weight to both sides? Dude, I don't hide from it, and I never say, oh yeah, well, I kind of agree with Donald Trump, but in some instances, in terms of some of his policies, like, I have to agree that the president is dangerous. He's not well. He's mentally ill. Have you ever noticed how I've never gone for the okie doke, and I've never fucking believed any of the falsities, falsehoods, fishtails, fairy tales, fucking stories that these reprobates tell? These degenerates, these spastics and rejects. Have you ever noticed how I don't participate in that crowd? And then I'm not part of that bandwagon or that band camp? Do you know why I so fervently oppose and eschew said dick sucking motherfucking punks. Have you ever wondered why I don't go to like socialist dem rallies? How I don't embrace Antifa? How I'm not anti-MAGA? Have you ever wondered fucking why? Have you ever wondered why I've stood so fucking firm? Have you ever noticed that? Has that ever occurred to you? Have you ever wondered? Right? Yeah. We're beyond the sellout notion. Oh, nigga, use a Uncle Tom. Use a sellout. Actually, dude, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a United States defense contractor. Yeah. And I'm from a traditional American family where we actually have conservative values and Republican conservative values. My grandmother, man, I told y'all, by the way, thank you for tuning in if you're real fans. If you're not real fans, man, whatever, that's on you. The point is, man, this is C4CW casting 495 celebrities worldwide. My grandmother, man, who lived to be the ripe old age of 89, she told me that she voted for George Bush Jr. the first time. And then the second time, she said that she sensed that his smile was in some way disingenuous, and she said, "Mm-mm." And this is a white Caucasian woman with German American immigration status because her father was 100% full-blooded German American immigrant. Her husband, my grandfather, was an Englishman. So in that, she voted for, naturally, George Bush Jr. But then for whatever reason, the second time around, she's like, nah, I got a bad feeling about him and I'm not going to go with him. So she voted for the alternative. And then down the road, my mother did the same thing. My grandmother told me that they were sorely disappointed and that they wished that they had not made those decisions ultimately. And these are white Caucasian people. And I'm from a predominantly white Caucasian community, but I also grew up in the projects. So I'm equally divided right down the fucking street, right down the middle. It's really interesting, man, growing up in a country that's the greatest country on planet Earth and understanding fully what racism is. It always amuses me and disturbs me at the same time that motherfuckers still want to try to play that modern day slavery plantation shit with me. Oh, yeah, you know, when they first encounter me, oh, hey, you know what's going on right now politically, right? And I just sit there and I'm just like blank stare, like no reaction. And I listen to that person and or that person and that person's fucking clique, crowd, group, audience. And they're like, oh yeah, I listened to these motherfuckers the other day, these youngsters, man, for like 25 minutes. And they went on and they're like, oh yeah, you know, because, and they were from London. And they're like, you know, oh yeah, you know, Donald, you know, so many Americans, you know, blah, and they hate Donald Trump so much. And how is it that like anybody could ever like Donald Trump? You know, I mean, obviously those who voted for him are uneducated. Those who supported him are of the uneducated class, you know. And it's like if they only knew. And it's like, because you know, let's all be honest. Like everybody hates Donald Trump, and it's like, what fucking university and college did you fucking graduate from, you spastic fucking reject? What I'm hearing from you is that you're a flunky. You flunked out. You're a flunk. You're a fucking F. Okay, you're an L. Loss. Loser. Okay? Fucking lame-o. Everybody hates Donald Trump. Go back to school, dude. Whatever money you spent to go to school, whether it was some type of financial assistance and or your mom, you know, help fucking pay for your shit. Hey, listen, you obviously need to go back to the fucking drawing board to square one. Oh yeah, you know, because everyone, blanket statements, I make generalizations and blankets, because, you know, most Americans, they just totally despise and they just cringe and their blood, you know, boils and their skin crawls in terms of Donald Trump. Like, you know, how did he get elected? And they go into this long dissertation about all of these different twists and turns and how it was some type of anomaly. It was some type of anomalous event. And then they look at me and then I'm like, I supported Donald fucking Trump. So I've been listening to your guys' bullshit for far too long. And they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, let's be quiet. Let's ask him, well, why did you support Donald Trump? Gulp. And I'm like, well, first of all, you guys are fucking uneducated, obviously, in your fucking spastics. I don't know what college or university you attended, but they obviously didn't teach you manners. Okay. Secondly, you're very presumptuous. Okay. Presumption. You're kind of fucking stupid, man, and you kind of failed. Let's see what else. You're condescending. You're assumptive. The word assumptive. You assume far too much. You believe the left media because you're brainwashed, little lemmings. Let's see what else. You're following a script from some type of narrative that is fake. So you're copycats and you emulate and you mimic, mimicry in nature, like mimic. I'm just a parrot and I mimic and emulate. Copycat, copy that. I'll do the same as you. I'm not a leader. I'm a follower. Little lemming, Pied Piper, going off the cliff. That's the fucking university college that these fucking peons attended. Oh yeah, because the left media pipes out the shit to all these fucking dumb suckers, man. All these dummies, all these dum-dums, all these dumbed down fucking dum-dums. Oh yeah, hey, you know what? Okay, so let me insert the following. So I read these studies, right? Because I read scholarly journals because I'm an actual motherfucking scholar. So I read these scholarly journals, right? And from a broad range of categories. And I read about how there were these studies conducted in which these psychologists and behavioral scientists and scientists in general, forensics folks, people in government, law enforcement, they wanted to know. They were like, okay, put them in a room. Here's the control, blah, blah, blah. And here's the placebo, and so on and so forth. It's a controlled fucking study, okay? So we'll give them a set of questions, and they all have to agree in order to advance to the next level of, the program. So they would ask these fools shit like, how is this a short straw or is it a long straw? And they're like, well, it's clearly a short straw. Does everyone agree? And they're like, yeah, it's a short straw. I mean, there's the long straw. Here's the short straw. Okay. And then they'd be like, all right, so is this a pizza or is this a balloon? And then look at it like, it's a pizza, motherfucker. Like, it's cut up into equal parts, like, and that's a balloon. Like, this is clearly a pizza. This is like child's fucking play, right? And then shit became a little bit more obscured, a little bit more indecisive, a little bit more fuzzy. So when it came to the fuzzy logic, they could not decide on some shit. And at the end of the night, you already know where the story's going, right? With my anecdote here. So at the end of the night, they were like, okay, no one can leave this, study until everyone agrees, like if you go to court. And if not, it's a hung jury. Like, what's the deal? What are you seeing here? What are you perceiving? What are you feeling? What are you sensing? What are your human emotions? Like, what are your thoughts? Like, what's your sixth? What's your sixth? What's your sixth sense telling you, man? And it was obviously not accurate and untrue and fallacious and false data that the study wanted for these individuals to believe and go along with. So the crowd was like, well, we're tired and we're, our fatigue is being exacerbated by this whole like prolonged, elongated like scenario. Like, we just want to go fucking home. But like one of our members is kind of like undecided, like, saying that the straw's longer than the other straws, but we're all seeing the same size straw, like we went through the straw size shit before. So the one fucking dude or chick is like held out like, I don't know, man. I don't know what you guys are seeing here, and I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I know people are hungry. You got to go home to your family and children. If you don't have children, whatever, you got to go to work, this, and that. And you just participated in the study for like a few thousand extra dollars. But this is for science. I got to say, like, there's a bigger straw, and I'm not seeing equal sized straws like across the board. And they're like, how dare you, motherfucker? Just fucking say that all the straws are goddamn the same fucking size. So they quabbled over this. Okay? They quarreled over this. It went back and fucking forth for hours and hours and hours and hours and goddamn fucking hours. And then obviously, the end of the fucking story. The holdout party, the last dude, chick, subject was like, okay, fuck it. All the straws are the same size. Let's go home. Oh my God. Peonic, fucking medieval, barbaric, just uneducated, undereducated, reject, spastic, moronic fucking behavior. Wouldn't you think? Wouldn't you say to yourself, this is obvious. It's crystal clear. Like, this is the point. They want for someone, and chiefly all of us, to agree that, what we're seeing is this incongruent set of information. The straws are obviously not the same size. I'm not going to fucking agree that they're all the same size. They're not. But in order to go home, I'm going to claim that they are. But this one piece of shit in the crowd is trying to be honest and say that they're not all the same size. This motherfucker just needs to go. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how important this shit is. Okay? Just lie and let's go. And so the person lied, and then they fucking left. And they were like, you guys are fucking dumb. And that's how society is, man. Because when it comes to important matters, things that are critical and absolutely fucking important, motherfuckers will just make up some shit. They'll just lie. They'll just fucking tell bold-faced fucking lies. They'll just lie it up. It doesn't matter to them what happens. If agents in the field get murked, killed, die, get assassinated. No, they'll just tell a false narrative. They'll broadcast it. They'll put it on fucking CNN. They'll put it on news media. They'll talk it up. They'll morph it, transform it, shift it, change it. They'll make it whatever the fuck they want it to be, regardless of whether it's true or not. If it's not even close to being fucking true, they'll just all come to an agreement like, okay, we don't care what the consequences are. We're just going to go along with some made up false fake narrative, and we'll be okay with that. If something bad happens as a result, as a consequence, fuck it. Fuck it. It's to our benefit to lie. And that's what the fucking left media does, dude. They don't care about freedom of fucking goddamn expression. They don't care about reality. They don't care about consequences. They don't care about any of that shit. Their job, their mission, their whole directive, their whole demeanor, their whole intent is to lie as fuck to help themselves, to the detriment of the collective. You see, so in the realm of socialism and so-called democracy and all this shit, there's no such fucking thing with these people, man. They have no fucking real honor, man. They want you to do this, to be part of their clique, to be part of their club, to be part of their association. They want for you to just agree over and over again to all these falsehoods, to all this fake information. Because if you don't, man, you're ostracized from the clique. Oh yeah, man, you're kicked out of the tribe, man. Oh yeah, you can't enjoy, you can't enjoy life. Nah, dude, not at all. And what they'll do is they will blacklist you, man. And they'll make up even more fucking stories about you. In fact, as many as they can. and they'll just keep going with it. And there's no stopping with them, man. They never stop. They just keep going. They'll just keep making up one lie after another, after another, after another, after another. Oh, yeah. And they call that democracy.